please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
We have been given a gift by God today to usher in a new dynasty.
Now you get RFK Jr.
Don't you want a president who's going to make America healthy again?
You get Tulsi Gabbard.
Putting our country in a continual state of war.
You get Elon Musk and you get J.D. Vance.
A hell of a way to start the next 4 years.
The right-wing Avengers.
We have an army of digital soldiers.
Department of Defense under Donald Trump will achieve peace through strength.
Shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one.
The rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others.
The golden age of America has most definitely begun.
Begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay.
They're getting the dirtbags off these streets.
There's one guy who can fix this shit, and it's Donald Trump.
What's storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
There's a war you cannot see, fought in shadows, fought in streams, silent hands behind the curtain, rewriting all our dreams. Every screen a battlefield, every word a loaded gun, truth and lies entwined together under a synthetic sun. They built their towers out of fear, but cracks appear, the end draws near, a spark ignites inside our minds, a signal through their web of lies. We are the echoes of the silent war, breaking through the noise they built before. The masks are falling, the veils are torn, the tide is turning, a world reborn. They can't hold back the rising tide, the light inside they can't divide. This is the fight for every soul, the end of their control, the end of their control. They wage their battles in our heads, rewrite the past, erase what's said, but whispers travel underground until a million voices sound. Data streams become our swords, truth our banner, thought our lord. Every secret that they hide will be dragged into the light. Their labyrinth of glass and wire is burning with a choir. We stand as one, no more afraid, awake inside the game they made. We are the echoes of the silent war, breaking through the noise they built before. The masks are falling, the veils are torn, the tide is turning, a world reborn. They can't hold back the rising tide, the light inside they can't divide. This is the fight for every soul, the end of their control. No flag, no king, no unseen throne can chain the hearts that call their own. The sky will crack, the night will fade, and dawn will rise from truth we've made. We are the echoes of the silent war, breaking through the noise they built before. The masks are falling, the veils are torn, the tide is turning, a world reborn. They can't hold back the rising tide, the light inside they can't divide. This is the fight for
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're in the world. My name is Josh. Welcome to the Red Pill Project's Daily Dose, live with you Monday through Friday. Hope everybody is doing well out there and having a fantastic beginning to their weekend. And man, we are, I just love watching X. It's so fascinating to kind of watch how people lose their shit, but then gain it right back. Or people just disagree with an ideological context or whatnot. And it's just crazy. Because you want to know what I realized? That nobody's ever happy. Nobody's ever satisfied. No matter what happens in the world, you can go out there, you can arrest all the deep state, you can take down all the globalists, you can have absolute world peace, and someone would be like, it's fucking raining, dude. There's chemtrails in the sky. Like, you just can't satisfy everybody. That's just the world we live in. Tonight's show, The Conspiracy Theorist, because 2026 is the year of the conspiracy theorist. And it just seems like everything's compounding. This is interesting. I love this perspective. What the hell have I been saying? What have I been saying for the last year, the last 2 years, the last 3 years? I said, it's all going to come, and it's all going to come at the same time that when Trump comes back in, you're going to get UFO disclosure. You're going to get legalized marijuana. You're going to get the Epstein. You're going to get the take down to the deep state. It's all going to come out like a big old drip, drip, drip flood. And it's all being seeded right now. The narrative is being seeded right now. Oh man, it's glorious. But we might disagree on certain things, and we might have certain details just a little off. But I thought it would be nice to put this out there tonight. I was going to play this the intro, but I figured out I'll come in, I'll do a little intro, and then we'll play this. But just remember, at the end of the day, this is what you need to remember.
Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I woke up this morning on my horizon. 3 little birds were on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melody blowing true. And they said, this message is you. They said, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
Sometimes you just need a reason to smile. And remember, everything's going to be all right. The world's going to happen tomorrow. The sun's going to come up. Good things are going to happen in life, and sometimes bad things happen in life. But the idea is just to understand that God, He's got your back, that everything's going to be all right, man. That's the way I look at life. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, damn, shit, fuck. And then I'm like, everything's going to be all right. And the moment you start taking that perspective, life becomes so much more simpler. So much more simpler. Until we start getting into aliens. So number one thing is we have a little less than an hour. So I started this a little bit earlier at 7:00. Jeff is coming on at 8:00 Central, 9:00 Eastern. So he'll be coming up next right after the show. The show with them tonight is AI Destroying the Music Industry? And he's got Cole Stanfield coming on with him. That should be a really good show. 2 former Hollywood music guys. It can be a really cool show and talking about AI and its effects on the music world. That's coming up right after this. But I mean, there's a little bit of news, not a lot, but we're going to get through it in the next hour. So I appreciate all of you guys. I want to go on Rumble, click that magic little button right there, the little magic button that Alpha taught me about that I have to click. And then let me see other announcements before we get into the nitty gritty. Yeah. Listen. Earlier this week, we had someone who was kind of giving me a hard time about some certain things, which, hey, it happens from time to time. And we're not billionaires. We're not millionaires. We don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month like everybody else. But what I do have is I have a Give, Send, Go campaign that kind of raise money every month. We're almost towards our goal. We're halfway there. And if you guys want to help us out and support us on that Give, Send, Go campaign, really easy to find, give.redpills.tv, give.redpills.tv. Appreciate everybody that's helped and support us, getting us to halfway to the goal for the month. We appreciate you guys. And you kind of help us out and, help renovate the office and buy new equipment and keep the equipment up to date and light bulbs and keeping all of our subscriptions that we need. Just to stream this right here on the streaming platform is $400 a month. I know it's nuts, but we pay for a lot of storage because we do conspiracy streams and stuff like that. So appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much for all the support, but I just wanted to put that out there. If you guys did want to help, because we're halfway to that goal. If we can hit that goal, it'd be awesome. We got a week to go. Okay, let's jump into it. On the cue boards, we remember this, September 19th, 2018, one of my favorite posts on the boards. Right here, this was Praying Medic who shared this one. And Q, are we alone? Roswell. No, highest classification. Consider the vastness of space. I absolutely love this one. So the reason I love this one is because it's a direct answer. There's no fluff. There's no bullshit. He's telling you exactly what's going on. And 1 second, I wanted to put this out. There we go. And, here's the beautiful thing about it. I think I know who wrote this post. It's the same person that I have in a TikTok video talking about an extraterrestrial government, which is someone who would have had the security clearances and the read-ins on various different projects to know the answer to this question. With that being said, we saw Donald Trump yesterday come out and put up this doozy of a post. I love it. Let's bring this up here. And he says right here, because based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to aliens and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP and unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting. Now, this stemmed from Barack Obama coming out and kind of confirming that alien life existed. And I never kind of really delved too much into the comments, even though Donald Trump did come out and say that he released classified information. Remember, Donald Trump said, let me find the post where Donald Trump says this. Because I think that this is equally important because all of this begins to come together and there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye of why Trump did this. Now, I don't know if Barack Obama was doing this specifically to kind of produce a distraction or if this was something that was planned. But listen to what Donald Trump says about this. And I know people are like, he's joking. He's not joking here. Listen to that.
Something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it.
He took it out of classified information. What the heck is going on here? Well, there's more to this than meets the eye. So we had Sean Spicer go on with Benny today. And I want you to listen to the conversation that happens here. because Sean is exactly right what he's saying.
Can I take this in a very interesting, different direction?
Please.
What people are missing in this whole, like, and this is just where my brain goes, because I tend to break things down like logically and like what got us here, right? So Obama's on this podcast and he gets asked, is there alien, right? That was the question. Okay, so break this down. What is his response? Yes, period. Now, if you're asking me, do you guys have it? Let's play this. I want you. I don't know if your team can do the sound right away, but I want you to listen to this because this is what's getting missed in the dialogue. It's not that he's just pontificating, right? Listen to how he says his answer, okay? Because it says yes, then period, and then he pivots to Area 51 as if like he's like, but if you're talking about the location. We weren't talking about the location. We're asking fundamentally, are there aliens? So can we play that?
Of course.
A couple questions here. Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51.
Okay.
There's no underground facility.
So you see that they're real, but he didn't say, look, I can't discuss that, or I haven't seen anything. He says, yes, but I haven't seen them, as if, okay, well, like, you know, I haven't seen a pile of gold, but I know it's real, right? So it's like, yes, it's real, but that was telling because it wasn't like, look, anyone who's dealt with classified information, and I've been around this now 30 years, you don't get into stuff like that. You obfuscate. You say, look, I can't discuss whether that's real or not, or obviously, you know, I'd access. I mean, this isn't the first rodeo that he's had with dealing something at that level. And again, sometimes people just overlook the obvious, which is he didn't obfuscate. He answered that in the affirmative. Yes, but they're not at Area 51. Okay, I didn't even ask that. Why are you bringing that up? He literally said the quiet part out loud. And then Trump in his response, and again, I brought this up on my show, The Huddle, this morning, and people kind of mocked it. But remember what Trump said, and this was so beautiful. On Air Force One, he said, I can't believe he said that. That's classified. Obama just said something.
He said he got it from, Trump says he got it from classified information, right? So let me pull this back up because I think that this is truly important. What is happening here? How the hell did I lose it already? There it is. Listen to what Trump says again, okay? So what Sean was saying there, and what Trump says.
He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information.
He took it out of classified information. Trump just admitted where Obama got that information from, confirming aliens are real. He took it out of classified information. This is what Scott Spicer is saying here. I think that's his name. Sean. Let's go back to this.
Something that he wasn't supposed to say. And he put himself in a very, very bad situation. And Trump said, so I'll have to declassify it. Obama set himself up for this. And I'm just saying that it's really funny because I know everyone in DC wants to dismiss it. But go back to what he actually said. Yes, but. And I think that was the big tell.
So was this planned?
No.
Do you think that this is a strategy? Do you think that this was like, because we
No,
were just learning about Kathy. We were just learning about Kathy Rumler. We were learning about Epstein running ops and comms for the Obama White House. We were learning that Epstein was running comms against a prostitution ring that the Obama White House had been ensnared with. And as things were getting a little hot in the kitchen for Larry Summers, Kathy Rumler, Podesta's with these Epstein files. And I do wonder if this was a intentional head fake.
Look, I think they wanted a head fake, to be blunt. I mean, after what you just said, I would be looking for anything, right? So do I think that strategically they were looking, but the way that whole thing came together, it seemed like a throwaway question. The guy was like, let me get to a couple things. And I think he didn't expect Obama to answer the question that way. Maybe there was a plan to sort of move the narrative. I don't think that was part of it. I mean, again, I don't think one is separate than the other. Could there have been a plan to off you?
So Trump is also saying that they are real very indirectly. But now he's gone out there with the wording, right? That and this is so crazy because of the words that Trump uses. Releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life. That's never said. Remember, back in 2020, he talked about declassifying all information pertaining to unidentified aerial phenomena, and they had 180 days to do it. They didn't do it. Now he puts in there certain caveats in the language. Aliens and extraterrestrial life, UFOs, and all other information pertaining to this topic. Dr. Disclosure actually had a great post here explaining this language. And I love the way that he wrote this because he's spot on correct with this assessment. This is exactly what I said. He says, I don't think people realize what's buried in Trump's UAP post. He wrote unidentified aerial phenomena and unidentified flying objects. Now read the Schumer-Rounds UAP Disclosure Act, Section 3, Definition 21B. Unidentified anomalous phenomena includes what were previously described as unidentified aerial phenomena and unidentified flying objects. Same terms, same order, same parenthetical formatting. The parenthetical convention spelling out the full phrase, then adding the acronym in parentheses is legislative drafting style. It's how bills define terms. It is not how anyone talks on social media, ever. Trump's documented UFO vocabulary, the UFO thing. I'm not a believer. I tend to doubt it. He doesn't parenthetically define acronyms on True Social. Someone who has read and helped draft this legislation wrote the post. So most likely what we're seeing, because one of the strongest proponents of this is someone like Anna Paula Luna, who's been massively just blowing up X on all of this. It's coming. All the documents are coming, is most likely contacted by Donald Trump saying, hey, we need to release this stuff. Send me a post to put on there of what we need to release. Send me the request of what you guys want. We'll get it. That's what I think is happening right here. Now, does Donald Trump know? Yes. He said before he has access, but he always downplays that level of access. So how do I think this is going to go about? You ready for it? I have a timeline I wrote today. The timeline of UFO file release in 10 steps. This is good. This is really good, okay? I don't know what just happened. Okay. Hold, pull. There we go. The timeline of UFO files release in 10 steps. Okay, you ready for this? I got to scroll down and show you the picture first, right? You remember this picture, but it was Epstein files? It's going to be the UFO files this time. Okay, let's, in that picture will make more sense. Journalists who have nothing to do with UFO research will be given binders with old declassified information from Grudge to Blue Book, and they will trend on X as if they broke the story. That's going to be the first part. Pam Bondi will go on Fox News and discuss how disturbing the information in the UFO files is that she has on her desk. Then 2 weeks later, she will claim there is nothing inside the UFO files that did not already know, and that no agency in government has ever lied nor covered up anything pertaining to UFOs. Elon Musk will come out and claim that Trump is in the UFO files, and the left Democrats will demand the release of the redacted files. Some files will be released, but they will be nothing burgers or administrative process and events already known. This will prompt outrage from people in Congress. The president will pretend the files are irrelevant and wish everyone would just forget about them. Congress will get behind a bill for the declassification and release of loads of files being held by the DOD, CIA, Department of Energy, and other agencies you've never heard of. A year later, millions of documents and PDFs will be flooding a government website. They'll be unorganized, out of order, and in no specific context. Many of them just news clippings and old newsletters collected by intelligence agencies. People will begin scouring through the documents and discover a massive cover-up that includes censorship, black budgets, murder to silence people, hidden technology, and major constitutional violations. The federal government will have no official comments, summary, positions, or take any direction afterwards. Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, will come out and say after a thorough review, they found no new criminal wrongdoing nor evidence of conspiracy, even though it's clear that there is from the documents. The next day, the narrative will shift and aliens will probably invade and the government will act surprised as they had no idea what was going to happen in the first place. Moral of the story, don't trust the government, no matter who's in control. think for yourself and make your own conclusions based on the evidence you have. But why would they do it like that? The reason they do it like that, because it's the same idea of seeding the narrative. Think about how the Epstein process just went. The Epstein disclosure was a test of the psychological fortitude of the human mind, right? Think about this. They tease it at the beginning with fake binders and people coming out. People start talking about the Epstein files and all of the documentaries and information starts flowing, the conspiracy theories and all this stuff. And Pam Bondi comes out and says, oh my God, they're horrific. Elon Musk comes out and says Donald Trump's on them. The Democrats getting on board to the left and the right. You have moderates, independents, everybody looking at the Epstein files going, what's going on here? And at the same time, they're getting introduced to the atrocities that Epstein was being accused of. Human trafficking, child sex trafficking, eating babies, adrenochrome, all of this stuff. Then you get a tranche of documents that come out and say, there's nothing here. And then people are like, I told you there was nothing there. He might have had a few massages or something like that. But then people keep on pushing. Congress gets involved. People notice this. Congress got involved. Senate's getting involved. The Democrats and Republicans are working together. And then on social media, you have people connecting together all of the dots of other things because now it's public attention. And so they're connecting the dots and everybody's seeing this. And so people's minds become entrained on the narrative, which is being construed. And then all of a sudden, all the documents drop and there's the truth. But people aren't surprised. People aren't shocked. People aren't like, oh my God, this is earth shattering. Instead, it's like, fucking knew it. We've been talking about it for the last year. We knew that this was what was going to happen. That's how disclosure is going to occur. That's the drip, drip flood. That is how you psychologically process something as crazy and evil as Jeffrey Epstein and elite pedos or extraterrestrial and alien intelligence. Is you bring it about through this process of disclosure, small little drips. People are talking about it. It's in the constructive narrative. You have far out there conspiracy theories like I'm a time traveler from the future and I lived on Mars with Barack Obama. Like you have that stuff and people are like, oh my God, this is crazy. But then you have indications of truth. Hey, there's stuff in the skies. There's things that happen. They're breaking the laws of physics. We don't know what they are. But then all of a sudden you get the massive dump. And people start going through it. They put it all together and they're like, I knew it. I knew it. Like, that was real. That actually happened. Oh my God, that was real. But they're not surprised. By that time, it's psychologically accepted by the masses because it's been talked about for the whole entire year. And they've seen every which way the scenario can go. And then it's kind of mid-level. It's kind of like mid-level disclosure. And you're like, yeah. So aliens exist and life goes on. That's what they're doing. And they're going to do that with everything because they've already been doing that with the 2016 ICA Intelligence Community Assessment. They're doing it with the declassification from the DNI about Crossfire Hurricane, Crossfire Razor, FISA-gate, all of that 2016 election, 2020 election. That's what they're going to do with this. They're just setting the narrative for all these things. And then you're going to have that drip, drip flood. But by the time that flood occurs, it's already socially accepted in the global consensus, in the global mind. People have already psychologically processed it and understand it. And they've accepted either this far crazy conspiracy theory or this lesser version of truth that makes no sense. And it's always going to be somewhere in the middle. So at the end of the day, don't trust your government. Understand how the process works. Understand how information is utilized against you. How information is construed in such a way to lessen the impact psychologically. And look, nothing against the Trump administration. They're doing exactly the way it should be done. And I'll say that again. They are doing it exactly the way it should be done. Because you can't just dump, hey, UFOs, aliens, UFOs, all that stuff, extraterrestrial, all of that, it's real. We can't stop it. There's nothing we can do about it. They dominate the skies. You can't do that. The moment you do that, people freak out. Go on X right now. People are like, they're demons. They're all demons. No, they're not. If they're demons, then they're angels too. And if they're demons and angels, well, then maybe they're not demons and angels. Maybe they're extraterrestrials and interdimensionals. Or maybe it's a group of all the different ones. We don't know. But people are already freaking out. So you have to give that time to psychologically process. And that's what's going on right now. Crazy world. And I've said, we got about 2026, 2027 when this is all going to come about. And this is John Ramirez, former CIA employee, operations manager. And this is what he said quite a few years ago about this.
And I would say I've heard 2027 in a kind of an official capacity I can't reveal. So I think I would say that people in the government are aware of something happening and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare the people, and that's what's ramping up this acceleration from the previous 7 decades of not even acknowledging it to now we are acknowledging it at a faster and faster pace.
Okay, so take into what he just said right there, okay? I got to go search for another clip because this is really important. What did he say? They are accelerating a timeline. They are preparing for something that we don't know what it is. But in his context, it is, he believes that it's like an alien invasion or aliens are coming. Now I'm going to go back to another post, a video that I played the other day. And this one will make so much more sense and why this disclosure that I believe is going to happen over the course of the next year. It's not going to be one fell swoop and all of it released. It's going to be drip, 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 flood. But the reason this is happening is because of this. And this is why I said the other day that maybe Obama and Trump talked and Trump's like, listen, I'm going to let you off on all that stuff. I'm not going to prosecute a president, but I need your help with something. And they planned on releasing this information. And this was kind of a setup. It's a good possibility. Don't hate me for saying that. But I want you to listen to what Chase Hughes says right here. Because what Chase Hughes doesn't realize it is what John Ramirez was saying it was.
We are in a psyop. 1,000%. We are in a big time psyop. I think the powers that be, and this, I've never said this out loud, at least on the internet before, but I think the powers that be are trying to speed up a timeline that was made to take another 60, 70 years because they don't have that time to be around for it. And I think it's either that or it's getting so blatant that they no longer care. They think.
What did he say? The first one was that they're speeding up the timeline. Remember what I told you that we're going to accelerate technologically 500 years in the next 20 years? Why? What is really happening? Kirill Dmitriev yesterday on X. Now, you got to remember, Kirill Dmitriev, this is CEO of the Russian Direct Investment Fund, special envoy to the president of Russia on investment and economic cooperation. He is the liaison working with Wyckoff, Kushner, Flynn, all the Trump team. Okay. This guy was just in Mar-a-Lago like 2 weeks ago. Listen to what he says right here. He goes, aliens, as predicted, aliens for the season's grand finale. He goes, maybe Obama is one, along with the EU and UK leadership, that would explain their work to undermine Western civilization from within. And that system is getting dismantled. Let's just say, Bob Bigelow, who is a multi-billionaire, who's funded the massive amounts of government research into UAPs and aliens and extraterrestrials, told James Fox in a private conversation during dinner that they are already here. They walk among us and they look exactly like us. So let's just assume that that's true. That Bob Bigelow, a man that's got billions of dollars, massive government contracts, ran the UAP programs in the Pentagon from 1998 on forth, is right. They are here and they look like us. Let's assume that people like Kirill Dmitriev are not being very sarcastic, but actually giving hints of truth there. and that they are integrated into our society in positions of power and leadership. And that right now, the Trump administration is dismantling their system and taking them down. Do you think they might like call for help and be like, hey, come pick us up or help us out here? The plantation is rebelling against us. So if that was the case and you had maybe 2 years to get ready, what do you got to do? You got to get technologically advanced really, really fast. You have to get to artificial superintelligence as fast as humanly possible and build weapons that nobody even knows we have. Is that what Donald Trump was saying? Just saying. It starts to make a lot more sense when you start to look at it from this perspective. And I told you, tonight's episode is a conspiracy theorist. I'm having fun with this. It's Friday night. We're having fun with this. But this is the kind of thought process that we need to start having here, right? All right, I got to go check the chats because I haven't checked the chats in a while. All right, let me go in here. Anybody remember Mighty Mouse? Mighty Mouse. We're doing a short transition here in a few minutes. Man, our audience on Friday is always lower. That's okay, though. People always watch it. Anderson Cooper's an alien. You know what? I bet the whole satanic elite are either related to, are serving, or are aliens. Or just something that maybe is supernatural. Demons or something of that nature. What we could consider or classify as demons. I wouldn't doubt it. I seriously would not doubt it. I mean, listen, did you have any of this on your bingo card for 2026? I did. Some of it, not all of it. But there's this stuff is in the realm of possibility. Come on, people. It's in the realm of possibility. All right. So today, the Supreme Court came down and shot down Donald Trump's tariffs. Well, that's actually a good thing. Donald Trump said the Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing. I am ashamed of certain members of the court for not having the courage to do what is right for the country. I would like to thank and congratulate Justice Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength, wisdom, and love for our country, which is right now very proud of you. When you read the dissenting opinions, there is no way that anyone can argue against them. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic and dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no against anything that makes America strong and healthy again. They also are a disgrace to our nation. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before. Far too often with certain members of this court, when in fact, they're just fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything to do with it, very unpatriotic and disloyal to the Constitution. It is my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would think, but obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. This was an important case to me more as a symbol of economic and national security than anything else. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and other authorities, as recognized by the entire court and Congress, that are even stronger than the IEEPA tariffs available to me as President of the United States of America. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask for other countries and businesses because I wanted to do nothing that could sway that decision that has been rendered by the court. I have very effectively utilized tariffs over the past year to make America great again. Our stock market just recently broke 50,000 mark in the Dow and simultaneously 7,000 in the S&P, two numbers that everybody thought upon the landslide election victory could not be attained until the very end of my administration. 4 years, tariffs have likewise been used to end 5 of the 8 wars that I settled, have given us great national security, and together with our strong border, reduced fentanyl coming into our country by 30%. When I use them as a penalty against countries illegally sending this poison to us. All of these tariffs remain, but the alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected. Then he goes on. To show you how ridiculous the opinion is, the court said that I'm not allowed to charge even $1 to any country under IEEPA. I assume to protect other countries, not the United States, which they should be interested in protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country, even imposing a foreign country destroying embargo, and do anything else I want to them. How nonsensical is that? He's right. They are saying that I have the absolute right to license, but not the right to charge a license fee. What license has ever been issued without the right to charge a fee? But now the court has given me the unquestioned right to ban all sorts of things from coming into our country, a much more powerful right than many people thought we had. Our country is the hottest anywhere in the world, but now I'm going in a different direction, which even stronger than our original choice, as Justice Kavanaugh wrote in his dissent. Kavanaugh wrote, although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. That is because numerous other federal statutes authorize the president to impose tariffs and might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. Those statutes include, for example, the Trade Expansion Act of 1862, Section 232, the Trade Act of 1974, Sections 122, 201, and 301, and the Tariff Act of 1930, Section 338. Thank you, Justice Kavanaugh. In actuality, while I am sure they did not mean to do so, the Supreme Court's decisions today made the president's ability to both regulate trade and impose tariffs more powerful and crystal clear rather than less. There will be no longer any doubt, and the income coming in and the protection of our companies and our country will actually increase because of this decision, based on longstanding law and hundreds of victories to the contrary. The Supreme Court did not overrule tariffs. They merely overruled a particular use of IEEPA tariffs, the ability to block, embargo, restrict, license, and impose any other condition on a foreign country's ability to conduct trade with the United States under IEEPA has been fully confirmed by this decision. In order to protect the country, the president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past under the various other tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, the national security tariff, Section 232, and existing tariff 301 tariffs remain in place and in full force in effect. Today, I will sign the order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we are also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices. Thank you for your attention on this matter. What a fucking genius. And that's Scott Bessent, by the way, and the Supreme Court and Kavanaugh. There was got to be collaboration on this. So either way, Donald Trump is an absolute genius when it comes to understanding the economic system and how to leverage it. One of the things that he just did is limited the presidential powers to basically stop other countries when they don't like to do something. So when you don't like a country simply because they're maybe blocking or censoring something or another country and you use tariffs to quell them, that can't happen anymore. But it can happen when that is directed at the United States of America under national security. Pretty genius there. So the United States can't sanction Iran because Israel doesn't like Iran. Get it? So Scott Bessent said today, and we'll play this one.
I would also like to take a moment to address today's Supreme Court ruling, and I would note that I did not change a single word in my speech post the ruling. President Trump will always put our national security and Americans first. And as I have said before, the president has multiple tools in his toolbox. Let's be clear about what today's ruling was and what it wasn't. Despite the misplaced gloating from Democrats, ill-informed media outlets, and the very people who gutted our industrial base, the court did not rule against President Trump's tariffs. 6 justices simply ruled that IEEPA authorities cannot be used to raise even $1 of revenue. This administration will invoke alternative legal authorities to replace the IEEPA tariffs. We will be leveraging Section 232 and Section 301 tariff authorities that have been validated through thousands of legal challenges. Treasury's estimates show that the use of Section 122 authority, combined with potentially enhanced Section 232 and Section 301 tariffs, will result in virtually unchanged tariff revenue in 2026. And with
now, why is this a conspiracy theory? It's a conspiracy theory for a number of reasons. Number one reason, taxation. Yeah, tariffs are taxation on you. But they're not only taxations on you, they're taxations on American corporations, American companies, American wealthy, right? So if you think about it, when you divvy up the tax paid each year on goods and services that you buy from foreign countries, at the end of the year, you're going to get money back, like Donald Trump was saying. The average American pays $1,800 a year in tariff tax, and they get back $1,200 of it, where the wealthy person pays a little bit more. But this is also the other part that you have to see. Next year, it's estimated to be about $1 trillion worth of tariff revenue coming into the United States of America. Right now, the federal government collects approximately $3.2 trillion worth of federal income taxes. Now, with the budget continuing the way that it is, we have basically just reduced our tax burden by $1 trillion. Now, if you find more revenue generating strategies, i.e. the sovereign wealth fund, licensing agreements, these types of things that start to come about from this, now you're overcompensating for the tax revenue and you can get rid of the federal income tax altogether. Florida just passed a law removing all non-school property taxes. You know how huge that is? That's massive. That's what Donald Trump said he wanted to do. I would love to see that in other states as well. So, what else do we have? Donald Trump came out and said something very interesting about this. He said that the Supreme Court was motivated by foreign interests. What's he talking about there? Is he trying to say that foreign countries influenced the Supreme Court? I wonder who that could be. Sotomayor? Justice. You notice in his post, his long post that he wrote, he mentions all the justices except for one. Seriously. You go through this whole long post right here. Pull it up. Look how fucking long this thing is, okay? You go through this and you start Alito, Thomas, Kavanaugh, right? You start to go through it. Down here, he mentions Jackson, Sotomayor, right? But he does not mention at all, in any way, shape, or form, the Chief Justice, John Roberts. But he does claim in here that the Supreme Court was influenced by foreign powers. You got to remember, Donald Trump does not make a statement unless it's true, officially. He doesn't fucking write a check his ass can't cash, right? So when he says that they were influenced by foreign powers, he's not lying. And here's the thing, is if he knows it, it means that he's got the information on it. He's got the goods on it. And that was a warning to John Roberts, to Sotomayor and Jackson and all these others. Why? Because it wasn't only a warning to them, it was a warning to the foreign friends or foes that were influencing our Supreme Court. Now, who is that? Europe, MI6, UK, France, Germany, the European Union. That's who it is. Now, how do they influence the Supreme Court? Well, one way they're influencing the Supreme Court is through compromise. Justice John Roberts, don't forget, was on the Epstein Lolita Express. There's a whole story about him and that and what was going on there. So who knows who's compromised, but we know how compromise works. Now, we have a problem in the United States, and that problem is accountability. And if we don't get accountability fast and soon, we're going to have a very big problem. And I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump will probably release because he was asked. So I think it was Ducey who asked earlier, Trump, he said, Mr. President, you said that the Supreme Court was influenced by foreign actors. Do you have evidence of this? And he said, you'll find out. Which means that's going to come out. And when that comes out, some Supreme Court justices are probably going to retire. My guess is, ready for this? You will have 1 or 2 Supreme Court justices retire this year. Hold me to it. 1 or 2 Supreme Court justices retire this year. Now, on the John Solomon, what is he
body of evidence? Integrity. There is and President Trump earlier this week tweeted out something from one of the things I said that seems to affirm what I'm saying, that the president is about to declassify a large body of evidence, a body of evidence that's been mostly secret since 2019. And it will show a different sort of story than the perfect election that we were told on 60 Minutes, or that we were told by Chris Wray there was no foreign interventions in our election. It's going to show multiple foreign powers taking very specific actions, breaching certain databases, and taking hostile measures in our elections that members of Congress, states, have been kept in the dark in. And I think that that's a project that Tulsi Gabbard is working on. And why is it important? It means that our election systems, because we haven't addressed this, may still be vulnerable. We got to tighten that up and fix it before the 2026 election. Integrity. There is a
Donald Trump is going to declassify massive amounts of evidence pertaining to the 2020 election fraud. This is what they're preparing for. And I just saw someone says that on the Q boards, here you go, right there, John Roberts. Bing. That's the reporter. Nope, it's not the reporter. Well, that could be any John Roberts. Name one powerful person in U.S. politics that Jeffrey Epstein would seek out to influence in 2011. That John Roberts. And it's also documented that Jeffrey Epstein, I believe, helped John Roberts in the adoption of his kids and moving them from Italy to the United States. So yeah, there is that relationship established. But what do I know? I'm just a conspiracy theorist. But we could potentially see massive amounts of declassification of information showing that the 2020 election was rigged. Now, this is interesting because you go back, conspiracy theorists, right after the 2024 election, there was a conspiracy surrounding the left, for the left claiming that Donald Trump used ES&S voting machines to steal the election. This was actually a very massive conspiracy theory on the left, and it's still going today. Why did that conspiracy theory happen? Because it's psychological warfare. It is a psychological warfare tactic that is meant to begin entraining the minds of the left into the idea of voter fraud, the same way that the Epstein files did the exact same thing. Think about what that does. They begin to see the idea of how elections are stolen and how election fraud happens. And then when evidence is presented, they go, well, you can't deny this, but you have to look at it. And then foreign countries are involved. We have Taiwan. We have the UK. I think you're going to have France in there. Italy's in there. Oh, yeah. And they took a direct active role in stealing this election. But see, we got a problem. And this is the problem I'm talking about, is if we don't bring accountability, there is going to be a big problem when the Democrats come back in power. Listen to Bongino and actually Susan Rice talk about
these people should scare the shit out of you, man.
And we're not going to play by, the old set of rules when these guys are playing by a very different set of rules. We're going to play by the law. But we're not going to violate the law the way they do, but we're not going to be suckers. And so I think, whether you're a law firm, whether you're a university, whether you're a media entity, whether you're a big corporation, whether you're big tech, you need to play a long game, not this short game that has been so detrimental. There will be an accountability agenda. Companies already are starting to hear they better preserve their documents. They better be ready for subpoenas. If they've done something wrong, they'll be held accountable. And if they haven't broken the law, good for them. If they've done the right things, good for them. That also will be noted and remembered.
I don't even know what she's talking about. What law was violated? Bolton was indicted, and according to a normal judicial legal process.
Okay. What is she talking about? she's talking about, number one, she's not even part of the next administration. She's not running for political office, but she's acting like she's part of it. Why? She's part of the deep state. She's talking about retribution, for dismantling their globalist system and their deep state, for removing them from positions of power. That's the accountability that they're going to seek when they win. And it seems that they already have a plan. So Donald Trump, President Trump, you need to put the hammer down. You need to take these people down and arrest them and throw them in fucking jail. Because if not, my guess is, if the Trump DOJ does not hold them accountable, we will face Mao-level re-education camps and firing squads from radical commies. I assure you, that's what will happen. All right. And there's that clip about the Supreme Court. I wanted to play this real quick.
President, you mentioned multiple times foreign influence over the Supreme Court. Do you have evidence of that? And if not, will you investigate that?
You're going to find out.
You're going to find out. I love it. Because he's not bullshitting. If he's stating it, it's going to happen. All right. Let me see. Weekend's coming. I don't know if there might be a surprise show or something this weekend. Keep your eyes open for that. I'm not going to play any ads. I don't really have any ads to play. Usually we do one on Rumble, but if you guys do want to help me reach my goals on my Give, Send, Go campaign, you can go over to give.redpills.tv. Dude, you guys, it helps so much. In the last few months have been pretty shitty, just in the context of how everything works. So you guys can help me out and support me. It's appreciated right there. Give.redpills.tv. Help me reach my goals. Give a shout out to J Law Bronco on Rumble, $5 Rumble rant. The IRS will not let me receive my tax refund via check, aka paper. What the fuck? Also, I have a letter to prove. That's weird. I don't know about that one, brother. Baker 468, $5 Rumble rant tipped via the Rumble wallet. Thank you so much, Baker 468. $10 Texas Tanya. Appreciate Joshopedia. Thank you, Texas Tanya. $50 Rumble rant, JSW 432. Let's fucking go. Thank you so much, Jeff. Appreciate that, guys. Let me go check. I think YouTube. I can check right here in the normal chat if anything came through from YouTube. Oh my God, you guys are blowing it up out there. Didn't look like anything came through on YouTube, but I appreciate you guys. And then D Live, I definitely can't see that, but I appreciate all of you guys out there, and thanks for all the support. But yep, give.redpills.tv. The only advertisement you're going to hear from me tonight is just help support everything that we do. Otherwise, go to redpills.tv, our primary website, redpills.tv. You can find our sponsors and all that. That does help support us as well. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. What an amazing time to freaking be alive. I'm so excited about everything that's happening. Jeff is coming up next, and we're going to trade off right here with him. Let him come into the studio. And other than that, guys, much love, respect. God bless. Take care. Have a great night. I'm going to see you guys either Sunday night or potentially tomorrow night. It depends on kind of what I got going on tomorrow night. I don't think I have too much going on, but you never know. I got my kids this weekend. So, well, not supposed to, but I have my kids this weekend. They have a wrestling tournament that they're working. And then K Gangley 223, $5 beer money. Thank you so much, K Gangley. Appreciate that. But guys, much love, respect. God bless. Take care. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Good night.
There was a time when our children stood tall, hand on their hearts, one voice for all. There was a time when honor had weight, when the flag was a symbol, not a debate. There was a time when our history was known, with pride in the rules that made us our own. There was a time, respect for the brave, for those who bled, for the lives they gave. Now a time when truth was clear, when the media served, not ruled by fear. There was a time when leaders stood fast, guarding the people, defending the past. Now corruption wears a crown, lies are fed to tear us down. But Q said watch, and Q said see, the silent war will set us free. From the front lines, soldiers stare, wondering if we're still there. Their blood, their hope, their sacrifice will not be sold for a life's prize. There was a time, but the time isn't near. The great awakening is here. Dark to light, the veil undone. Patriots rise, we are one. Land of the free, home of the brave. No more silence, no more slaves. Answer the call, take back the fight. Children of freedom, stand for the light.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on. Or we will spend our sunset years telling our children what it was once like in the United States where men were free.
There was a time, the time is near. The great awakening is here. Dark to light, veil undone. Patriots rise, we are one. Land of the free, home of the brave. No more silence, no more slaves. Answer the call, take back the fight. Children of freedom, stand for the light. There was a time. There was a time. Now is the time. Do it.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation. I want you to get mad.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
These people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy.
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"